Welcome. Happy Halloween, everyone. Welcome. My name is Melissa, and I will be your multi-density cosmic tour guide today. And we're going to do a Halloween update. See what's going on in the Halloweeny energies. And I've got the Stranger Things tarot card deck out to play because I don't have anything all that creepy around the house. Halloween is not usually my favorite number one holiday, but it is one of my favorite number one times of the year, spring and right around Halloween. So let's see what we got going on in the Halloweeny energies. Can you feel those curses and those bindings and those persecutions and those past lives being freed from us? And can you feel the spell works and the hatreds and kind of things just rinsing away? I've been watching this for the last couple of years, and as everyone's been doing their shadow work, I've been watching, piece by piece come off of me at least, and others that I get to work with sometimes. And I am so proud of everyone. This is exciting. Mostly there are not bad, gross people doing spell work against each other because that seems archaic and stupid. But I have been watching the rise of the divine magicians, the light witches, the white witches, the magicians, the wizards, the warlocks, the magi, and like the three kings in the Bible where they were watching the stars and were the wise ones. There are the rise of the divine priests and priestesses, God's goddess energy, the divine magicians, and in that's Christed energy in us, Christ, the balance of the divine masculine and feminine. So shout out to everybody who's got a cool path that has a little bit of magic, a little bit of abracadabra in it. And again, no normal person has been or will be doing any magic or energy manipulation against anyone else. I had someone who tends to be wildly underhanded and crazy and gaslighting and awful, and they admitted doing energy manipulation to me and my boyfriends and my family, my business, my life, and then they would do things like, what? And mess up my web pages. They said it. They were admitting it, and I was like, and said that they very proudly and pleasurably said that they talked to some of my BFFs into doing horribly committing crimes against me. And I was like, so I escaped those grasps. And so we can, even if they thought they weren't doing magic, I don't know what energy manipulation to block me and ruin me and not let me have videos and have a job or a life or health or all those things. I don't know what that means to anyone else, but that's like spell work or dark arts. And so most people would never do that. And the light beings are not binding people and doing things. We are all working on healing and coming together in unity consciousness, coming from our heart-centered service to humanity and God paths, whatever words we use, our light paths. So that's a little bit funny to me now because they're kind of they like to bug me on occasion. And in my background, I do know people that have been really doing bad black magic to people. So I'm feeling this over the last few years, cleanse and clear from people's consciousness, as well as being removed out of many people's energies. So the collective energies have been releasing, letting go, and transmuting and cleansing and clearing those types of behaviors, energies, mindsets. So welcome home, divine magicians. Welcome home. So the first card I'm getting for us about our Halloween reading is Knight of Dice. And what else we got? Strength. Ace of Spokes. Four of Dice and the Magician. Badass, huh? So let's see what we've got, what story we've got to tell, and check it, like what's going on in the collective and what's going on for us in these Halloweeny times. Aside from the eclipses and the enormous step forward into the light that we're having. So the first one is Knight of Dice. I'm going to have to hit pause because I'm going to have to see which suit this is. Knight of Dice is Knight of Swords. Strength, Major Arcana. Ace of Spokes. Let's see here. Spokes are cups. Seems like they should be pentacles, but they're cups. Spokes. Four of Dice is four swords. That's that rest. Look at that pyramid. You know how I love pyramids. And the Magician, Major Arcana. So, what we've got going on here in this storyline is the energy of standing up. Perhaps someone coming towards you and wanting to make things clarity. And I'm feeling like some people might want to fix some things with each other, because there could be misunderstandings, there could be imbalances in energies. And I'm feeling in these first two cards, there's a little bit of completing of what we do not want, as well as behaviors in ourselves that we do not want. And the Strength card shows me we're all ready, willing, able, capable to stand up and be responsible in ourselves and push away others that are not going to take accountability and be responsible in themselves and interfere. So no more of that. So I'm feeling like that's like kibosh. But it does feel like there are energies that are a little bit more, we're in Mars. We got lots of Mars stuff going on. So we might be a little bit more in strong fire mode with each other. And that's okay. Be kind to one another. But it's okay to be strong in yourself. So what if some of our confidence is coming back into ourselves and we're looking at like in the mirror and going, yeah, you're all right. I like you. And nothing from the outside can try to poke in and pull you down. So in the Ace of Spokes, that would be Ace of Cups. I'm feeling like new, truly after the hardships, it feels like truly new, heartfelt steps are being taken. While we rest, we're going in our inner temple. And again, I keep feeling this or getting this. It's like death and rebirth. So we could have had losses. We could have had really painful, bad news, losses, things like that. But within that is this brand new beginning. And in that also, we can learn all the divine magicians can learn to stand up and in pure form, Christed energy, learn to manifest and create without extra people involved, without extra hanger-oners. So if we're creating and we're unclean or unbalanced in our creations, sometimes there are little side notes where it's not exactly what we wanted to create. It's not exactly what we wanted to manifest. And so there's hardships or distortion within those things. And I'm seeing us see past those things or recognize the distorted pieces in our manifestations and creations that we've done in the past. So I think many of us in the collective are going to be like, yeah, okay, cool. Ouch, let's not do that again. And we're continuing to cleanse and clear out of our form things that could cause distortion in our manifestations and creations in the future. I'm also seeing some like new beginnings in love. That's weird because these times are strange, and I probably wouldn't recommend like getting married or having new relationships right in this time period. But who am I? Like, I'm not you, you're not me. So how do I know on that for others? Like, I can't speak for others, but what I am seeing is new love, like out of nowhere, just finding new love, or completing some severe cycles of the past and reconciling with soul tribe, soul family, soulmates, twin flames in particular on this one, and going, okay, wow, we did it. We went through the jungle, survived wars, and did this. And that was cool that you got married 6 times, and I did 2 over here, and all those things. And then, but the way we learned and all of that stuff is over and complete. And you come back into soul tribe, soul family, soul connection, your own soul. And like that spark of creation, it gives you a refreshed new look and day. Again, I'm feeling in the collective, these bindings, these things that we couldn't get through or wouldn't let go of us, or we couldn't let go of. And I know many have been working on that in their own rights, in their own selves, in their own, moments. And it feels like in this Halloween time we go, yes. And as we go into Scorpio season, we're in Scorpio season now. Get this, one of my family members was born on Halloween. Talk about Halloweeny. So cool. And a lot of my family is Scorpio family members. And I love them, and it's awesome. But I feel like there's a little bit of that, and that Mars energy and these retrogrades pulling us into awareness and into the places and spaces in ourselves and our world that we're supposed to be. And continuing to fix, heal things in ourselves. We're going to have these new steps, new opportunities, things that were blocked in the past. So sometimes that's between other people, and sometimes that's in ideas or your creativity or things like that, as these bindings are released, as these chakras become more in alignment and things are cleared out. The upside down pieces or the distorted pieces are cleared out. So we've got, okay. And I'm doing it like this. Okay. Okay. Got a couple out of that. And we'll do one more for the next part of the story. How are things unwinding up in here in the Halloween times? A balancing of the shadow for each one of us is being had. So I got a couple there. Excellent. See what we got. Got more than I expected. Seven of spokes. So it would be cups. The hanged man. Major arcana. Ace of dice. In a minute. That's swords. Didn't we get that before? No, we did not. Look at that. The sacred geometry. Ace of dice, swords, truth. Is what that is. King of spokes. which is cups. 7 of strands, which is wands. Look at her kind of working on stuff. 7 of wands is like making plans, planting seeds. The King of spokes, which is cups, is sometimes a good king and sometimes kind of difficult if they're distorted. The 3 of scoops. Pentacles. And page of dice, which is swords. So in this story, kind of like this cups, it's like lots of, that's 7 of cups is usually lots of options and different things that we can look at. And so there's lots of things, dreamy ideas going on here. So we're getting rid of the bad ones and we're finding the good ones and what brings us into our circle of light within ourselves. And options, ideas, different things that we can work on. And we're going to perceive things differently is what I'm getting about how we can look at ourselves and our processes and what's going on in our lives. Like, why would I do it that way? Because that's stupid and I don't like it. And so it gives us the option to say, oh, well, maybe if I try it this way, this will be the way that makes me happiest. I'm also seeing different people come, like, check in, and that's kind of nice. Like, that's a good thing. That's not always bad. So, doesn't have to be the bad people, but it feels like it's good things, just touching base and like saying hello or hi, just checking on you. What's going on? Or, seeing somebody at the grocery store or something like that. Oops, sorry. The Hanged Man. And we're getting it that way when it kind of turned itself upside down. There's an enlightenment of not knowing and our minds coming back into order, and what's right and wrong. And, it's, still being kind of stuck or stagnant. But, to me, it feels like this is a time where we can think about how we want to do this and step forward. It's almost like when we go to bed, like we can't go, to lunch and meet your friend at lunch yet because it's midnight. And so when you go to bed and you're like, okay, well, I'm thinking about this. This is going to be great. I'm going to tell them how much I care about them. And I'm going to get to share with somebody the next part of my ideas about my business or my kids or my life. And so that's something that we can look forward to as we're coming out of that Hanged Man. It's just like we're going to bed for a minute and we'll come out of that Hanged Man knowing which direction to go in. So I really like that vibe for all of us. And the Ace of Dice is truth. Inside we'll know the truth. I'm getting that really strongly. And it feels like, some of this is other people coming to tell you the truth, or maybe that they're sorry that they did some things, or, you were incorrect about what you perceived. So there could be a balancing out of truth. Truth. I like it. It feels really good. There's nothing scary or yucky about it. It feels good, and strong, and it helps give us our confidence, our truth back. So I really, really like that. It's almost like a strong grace blessing. So the King of Spokes. Cups. And this 7 of, would be wands, strands would be wands. And I like this because it feels like this King of Cups has been working on, again, more thinking of what am I going to do to correct things? And this is as this King of Cups comes out of the Hangman position, like, oh, I did work on some stuff. I'm going to like forge a path ahead. And it feels like there's some enlightening ideas and some pieces of, like, if we were going to till the garden or our crops and like put like seed the garden, it feels like some of those things will go, yes, okay, good. That was good. I got dirty, but it was good. And it feels like there will be some more confidence in our successes and our journey, our flow, our forward motion ahead. All of this feels like forward motion. I like that. And the Three of Scoops, which would be cups. Oh, I'm sorry, pentacles. And then Page of Dice, which would be Page of Swords. So it feels like the coming out of fear that's been imprinted in all of us, coming out of that. It's almost like when you breathe in and you can't breathe out, and you just going through life that way. And it feels like we get to breathe out and recognize, like people, celebrations, successes, good things in front of us. And it feels like that's what's happening. And it feels like it's going to continue throughout the holidays to me. And this is what's kind of going on in Halloween times. We can just like relax a little bit and have some fun. And I know some people don't celebrate Halloween because it's pagan-y and kind of creepy, and there's terrible movies on. And then some people don't like this or that. And it feels like we can all come together. And I remember when I moved, I got run out of Oklahoma by the targeting teams years ago, and lots of threats and stuff like that. And it just keeps happening every time I go back to Oklahoma. It takes a long time, but then all of a sudden somebody tells me, like, we did this to you on purpose. We hate you. We're going to kill you, things like that. And I'm like, I should not. And so then I have to go regroup and balance again and work on my shadow and things like that and heal from weird stuff. So it's a little bit stupid, but I remember moving to San Antonio. I was being threatened and someone was breaking my house again. And that's what happens when you're targeted and you are by yourself and no one really cares. Like, people just go, oh, well. But different people proved it and different people saw it. So it was a really gross kind of targeting coming through other people and people willing to hurt others. So when I moved to San Antonio, I went on the train just to give myself some ease and peace. For the first time, I'd never been there. I don't know anyone there. And then I moved there, and I remember thinking, I don't love traffic and 74 lanes of traffic, but this place is different. The flavor of it is different than where I have been before or lived before. And certainly not everyone in Oklahoma is being targeted or mean or bad, or there's one, I miss it badly sometimes. And some of the people I love are there. So it's not that I'm trying to smear all of Oklahoma. There's just a particular energy that haunts me when I'm there. So, I don't love that part. And that's part of something that I'm healing. When I lived in San Antonio, there were good and bad parts, and it was big place. And, I felt for the first time in that place where all people could get along and they had no barriers to each other. I mean, you knew not to go into the hood and go to, like the places where you don't really belong, but people treated each other with, equality and kindness. And I really appreciated that. And it was smooth. It was a different flavor. And I will always be grateful for that in my healing journey, in my own life journey, in my learning and growing my life path. That's what I'm seeing. People come into whatever that mean, what different perspectives, and each one of our lives are different. Mine is always an adventure and bizarre and, very colorful and awesome. But in each one of your lives, it feels like there's a movement past blockages that we couldn't stop. We couldn't, stagnations, blockages, pain. And it feels like there's a celebration. Just like when occasionally I would go, I would travel a lot and work, and then I would come home and maybe go downtown and maybe do this or that and smooch the cats. Or one time I made a huge crystal light grid in my living room, and it took 3 days to put everything out and in order and all that kind of stuff. And I prayed, and it was so awesome. And that was the kind of creativity that I got to receive there, which under duress and being hunted like prey and abused in the place I was before, people breaking in the house, that stalking, terribly gross predator stalkers. Just a tiny little group, not like there's thousands of them, just a tiny little group. And the flip side of that, when I stepped out of it and got to change myself, my life, not a single negative thing has ever happened in any other spaces aside from those spaces, over all the years, really. And so what it gives me is the recognition of love in my surroundings outside. So now that I'm in Sedona, I have a similar feeling, like people usually get along here, and there is competition, there is weird, distorted darkness, but mostly there's light and beauty and magnificence here. And so it lends to creativity. And what I learned from living in San Antonio was the ability to open myself up and be free with, certainly not too open, but be free with others and celebrate that. And I used to go downtown sometimes and go, oh, I haven't been over here and I haven't been in this cathedral. I haven't seen the Alamo yet. I haven't done this. And just explore different things, and by myself a lot, because I don't know, the adventure of life there just showed me how to be myself in really cool ways. And there were a couple people that were jerks, or that were tried to take advantage of me, or tried to tell me who to be or whatever. But mostly 99%, even the bad days, there was just really good, peaceful, honorable, respectable people. And I learned a lot. And I brought that here into Sedona later when I moved to Sedona, and can recognize that here. It sparks the creativity in me, and it sparks the just like the best of the best in each person that I cross paths with most of the time here. And that's the light and the vortexes and all the things in Sedona. Everything on earth has been distorted. They are also coming out of those distortions, or that inversion. And it's changed. It's not the same as it used to be 10 years ago, 3 years ago, 70 years ago. But we came here to hold the light wherever we are, whether we live in the middle, the south, the north, the east, the west. And what can we bring to those pieces can we bring to those places and spaces in our lives that do give us creativity and happiness, connection with the right people, laughter, healthiness, fun. And certainly one of my favorite things is balance with others. Just I could never be more grateful for that San Antonio time, my friends in San Antonio, my life there, because the peace and the reciprocation between people is just beyond. And I'm seeing a lot of that in this Halloween time, where we recognize each other again, and can really stand strong in who we are. Not mean, not a bad stance, but a strong stance of who we are, and the truth of who we are becoming more clear inside of ourselves. Really like it. That's what those cards told me. Just added a little me story in. What do you do to recognize those pieces that can give you peace and that can help you on your path? What do you do? So for me, it's always art, creativity, music, singing, dancing, art, and channeling and spirit. So I wish I was more logical. I need a little help with that. But the adventure of this life is getting ready to get better and better for each one of you. And those pieces of who we are, your divine magician, your teacher self, your roles, your archetypes are getting ready to come stand up in you in that divine way. And you'll understand more and more the beauty and the truth of who you are. See if there's 2 more cards we can pull. So I'm going to do it this way again. Got a couple there. And 1 there. Very nice. The Sun. Major Arcana. So look at his face and look at the beauty, and he's feeling like who he's supposed to be. He's got his confidence. They all make fun of him. They say he can't ever have a girlfriend, and he's not good, and he's just so And look at him. He's like, I know that I know. He's got his super playboy inside of him is just shining, and he's just like, that truth of who I am can lead me through anything. And I got my hair sprayed, and I'm doing great. And he loves inside. He knows where he belongs. And this is what's been being illuminated in these Halloween times. See what we got. 5 of dice. So it'd be 5 of swords. It was upside down, and that's, I don't usually read upside downs. I don't usually read tarot cards, but, this one could come in, and I do feel it a little bit this way, that some of the scuffles and the arguments and the spiritual war of the past is being corrected in spirit, and we are being protected for sure. And some of those pains, traumas, wounds, casualties of war of the past. And that could be between, people, families, circumstances, life circumstances, career, job, thoughts, ideas, ourselves, but it's being corrected, and there is kind of a justice in that balance, and it becomes flow, and there's a grace that comes forward that shows you how to stand in your sunlight and be clearly who you are. Could just be in your house. Doesn't have to be in front of anybody else. But that sun, and it's like the gift. It's the big blessing. It's the major gift. And the Queen of Dice. What I'm feeling about this is the Queen of Dice, which is the Queen of Swords. It feels like, sometimes that means someone that's kind of ready, punch drunk, ready to go boom. And that could be the case in some way, but finally people standing up for themselves and saying, no, this is unacceptable, and telling what is acceptable, and that becoming that reciprocating balanced state of being that we're supposed to be in, a safe place where we can be ourselves in our homes. We can be ourselves in our jobs. We can be ourselves. And, the true understanding, the truth of who we are. So that's really strong. That's the main message. And, it does feel like stepping away from things, making sure I did something the other day, that I don't know. Usually you just walk past stuff that you're not supposed to engage in or have to deal with. And I just was like, excuse me, if you're really going to act that way, do you want to talk to me about it? And no one answered me because I was having harassment and threats and weird craziness. And I was like, well, I don't really think about that stuff. So it was probably subconscious stuff or things that was in my particular purpose and mission to deal with. But, I was like, I don't think it's that particular person, or, what's this coming from? So do you need to talk about it? So if you're thinking about me that much, can we talk about it? And, so in a way it was a mirror to myself. If I'm thinking about it that much, if there's something going on in me, if I'm not able to move past something in myself stagnant, then do I need to look at myself, talk about it in myself? And I really liked it because I had a lot of clarity. And I have for the last couple of years been like really studying and working and things like that. I know many of you have in your own way, and making decisions that are different than before. And I'm very grateful for this. And I am seeing a lot of gratitude come into our state of being in this Halloween time, as well as each and every one of you being able to stand in your truth. Just you. And that's really appreciated in this world. And so don't be a Count Jerkula or a stupid Halloweenie. Be having some fun on Halloween, Samhain, and this sacred time can be used to just bring us together in that beautiful, cohesive co-creation kind of vibe. And so I guess that's it. Let's see if there's any. Let me pull one more Work Your Light card, because they're right here from the other day. This came up not too long ago, the crumbling. So this would technically be the Tower card, but look at this. So I do feel this too. There's a lot, I don't know, shocking, crumbling towers. Could be bad. I think most of this is really good for the light beings, the light workers. So this is the blowing up the outside, as I was saying in the video the other day, crumbling of this horrible dark structure. And we could look at Lord of the Rings, where the overseer dark entity that fed into, like it was bred into everything, and it brought the shadow of darkness over the Middle Earth. And it looked kind of like this, except there was the big eyeball on the top, and it was watching everything. And I am aware that the watchers are paying attention, so there are dark ones and light ones, and the dark ones are being pushed back, we're being protected, and the crumbling away will be the old structures of towers, will be the old structures of really ugly things. And again, it's probably not other people that are doing things to you. Occasionally, like in my background, like I was talking about before, could have been, some bad people, but mostly people aren't purposely doing anything against you. We're just trying to do our own stuff over here, and then it gets distorted and pulled in with others. And so in the middle of this, as these structures, these dark, shadowy things fall down, that tower falls down, then this garden, this true Garden of Eden, becomes real. And look at this. So we can look at this too. This is our lower selves. This is our physical, and this is our light body, light being, light body that can hex all the way up to source. Can't remember that all the time. None of us can. We can't see through this darkness. This is towering over us. But as this falls and breaks down, the Garden of Eden, the Christed, purified, balanced, sacred union in ourselves are going to be like showing. And so I see that between people, harmony, warmth, celebration, and goodness. So I love that. Thank you all so much for doing a Halloweeny reading with me. May the divine magic bless you in every way. And I hope you guys are doing great throughout the holidays. Many blessings. Thank you for the likes, shares, and subscribes. I shall see you soon. Welcome home and happy Halloween.